Give us back our town. Beer, wine.
So, thank you for joining.
Hey, Ellie, come on, give us a kiss. Come on.
Do admire the hanging gardens of Babylon on the way. They can't even cut that back properly.
Hello. At last I've caught you asleep.
You did hold up a Bible upside down, but you held it up.
Hey there.
It is a massive, massive ball of uselessness. Oh, you can't say that. Why is it my romances all go wrong? Henry was the first girl. Her mother thought me twee. She sent a big invitation with an RSVP. It is wonderful to end a day like this, but I am completely sober and articulate, and I'm surrounded by people who cannot put two words together.
You said end the day like this. Isn't this the morning programme or something?
Yes.
Okay. But you're ending it already?
Yeah, well, you've been drinking all day.
All day? It's all right then. It is the morning programme, you know.
Well, you will be drinking all day.
Oh God, after this I will.
We've learned so much on this epic journey. We've learned what makes Lewis Lewis and what it's had to deal with in the past. We've learned... What else did we learn?
I'm Mark Landsman.
Little bit.
Pray for me. Goodbye.
Mirador TV. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
To Mirador.
Give us back our town. Beer, wine.
So, thank you for joining.
Hey, Ellie, come on, give us a kiss. Come on.
Do admire the hanging gardens of Babylon on the way. They can't even cut that back properly.
Hello. At last I've caught you asleep.
You did hold up a Bible upside down, but you held it up.
Hey there.
It is a massive, massive ball of uselessness. Oh, you can't say that. Why is it my romances all go wrong? Henry was the first girl. Her mother thought me twee. She sent a big invitation with an RSVP. It is wonderful to end a day like this, but I am completely sober and articulate, and I'm surrounded by people who cannot put two words together.
You said end the day like this. Isn't this the morning programme or something?
Yes.
Okay. But you're ending it already?
Yeah, well, you've been drinking all day.
All day? It's all right then. It is the morning programme, you know.
Well, you will be drinking all day.
Oh God, after this I will.
We've learned so much on this epic journey. We've learned what makes Lewis Lewis and what it's had to deal with in the past. We've learned... What else did we learn?
I'm Mark Landsman.
Little bit.
Pray for me. Goodbye.
Mirador TV. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. The court,
Good morning.
as they say, is all yours.
Thank you. We're in session. Good morning, darling Philip.
Good morning, sweetheart. How are you?
Yeah. I'm very well. You know, it's the only way that we get to see each other nowadays is through Keith being some facilitator of
matchmaker, chaperone.
That's exactly. I'm not sure I want it as chaperone as well. You know, we are Romeo and Juliet. We are Pyramus and Thisbe, you and me. There's no doubt about it. And I was considering that, and I thought, well, that's probably right, because certainly my family think that you're my boyfriend because I talk to you every day.
Yes.
But
it's an entirely platonic relationship, Richard.
It is exactly that. I don't think I've ever knowingly touched you.
No, you never have, thankfully. And
No.
With your height, that would be a worry.
That would be, you know, yeah, because I'm a tiny fella. I'm 4'3", yeah. But I did think that it's a bit like the school disco, where I always end up with the fat ginger one.
Shall we get on with the program, RB?
If you want. Philip, today, it's lovely to have these chats, informal chats about things, principally about matters legal. Today, I'd like for us to be able to talk about Lewes Crown Court.
Yes.
But by which I mean the building in Lewes.
Yes.
Because this broadcast is watched by a man and his dog from Lewes. And the dog's in the room with me here, in fact, as I speak. Just looking at it, Lewes Combined Court Centre, and I think I may have said this before, so it's never stopped me in the past. There's Lewes with 4 courts in it. There's 2 courts in what is mainly the Magistrates' Court in Brighton. There are 4
Correct.
courts in Hove. And
Correct.
in fact, there are 2 courts which have been incorporated into the system within Chichester. But I'd like
That's
to
right.
talk about, I'd like to talk about the one in Lewes, please. And I just want to start by asking you this: do you know any court? I suppose, with the possible exception of the Central Criminal Court, what's called the Old Bailey. Do you know of any criminal court that has more impressive courtrooms than Lewes?
I personally don't. The nearest I can think of, but it doesn't get anywhere too near, is Aylesbury, or the old
Yes.
Aylesbury Court. But but that's many years ago since I've been there.
No, you're talking about the old Aylesbury Court, exactly. Yes, it's
I think I must be.
Yes.
So no, currently I can think of nowhere, certainly that I've visited. It is a magnificent building, even now.
Yes. And of the
it was built in the early 19th century.
Well,
it began in 1808, finished in 1812.
The reason I wanted to talk
the frontage we see today is very, very similar to what it would have been then. The top three windows, as we now know them, above the Doric columns at the entrance, were in fact reliefs when it first opened, representing the good qualities of man. It was built in the classical style, designed by an architect called John Johnson, and it was made of Portland stone. Later on in the 19th century, it was extended to be the size we see it today. It was always known actually as County Hall, because up until 1938, it was run not just as a court or courts, but also with what we would call local politics. Hence its original name, County Hall. In 1938, what was then the County Council for Sussex moved out, and they went to what's now the Pelham Hotel. They moved again to what's now their current venue, but so they went to the Pelham, and it was only then that what you and I know as Lewes Crown Court, main building, it became purely an assize court. So it was purely to administer justice on the most serious matters. So it was an assize court. There were two courts only, the ones we see today, courts 1 and 2, who in their refurbished state are pretty much as they were. In those days, there were 3 assize courts, and bizarrely, I found this quite curious, bizarrely, Lewes was the least used, mainly because the transport in the county was appalling, as were the roads. Horsham Assize Court was the main one, and the other one that was very popular was East Grinstead. Anyway, the Courts Act of 1971 created what we know as the Crown Court. It did away with the old assizes and the quarter sessions, which were even rarer, hence the quarter sessions, where High Court judges would visit, stay in lodgings, do the most serious felonies. Now, there are four, as you've said, criminal courts, but there is a 5th court in the building, which is for family and civil matters, hence it being known as a combined court centre.
Phil, I'm just going to pause you there because I see that Keith went off to get himself a coffee, and I nodded off for about 10 minutes there, and I'm glad that you covered for me. That's very kind of you.
I did warn you. You asked me to do some research, Richard, and there's more to come.
Oh, good grief. Seriously. I've heard your closing speeches, Phil. Seriously.
Well, you call them mesmerizing. Others have called them deeply soporific.
I've certainly had the experience of people nodding off in closing speeches, and it's a terrible thing, isn't it? Where you get a juror who falls asleep. I may have told you.
There's that wonderful anecdote about the jury in session, dealing with some horrible sex case. And the complainant in the witness box was simply unable to say the words of what her attacker had said to her, something really, really awful.
Yeah.
What he wanted to do with her, or what he was going to do to her. So the judge asked her to write it down, and it was then passed along the jury to read. But one juror had fallen asleep, and he was in between two women who were not asleep. So the woman passed the note to this asleep male juror and woke him up. And he took one look at this, having woken up, and beamed at her because he thought that was her propositioning him. That is a true story.
Yes, I know it is. Yeah. There's a story about somebody who was a local barrister here and in Lewes, sat in Lewes, and then became a judge, now retired. And as a barrister, he had one juror when he was dealing with a case, and this juror was writing everything down, every point, every little thing. And he thought, I've got that juror's on my side. That's my juror. And then
How wrong that can be.
Well, it can be wrong, but he then got to his closing speech. And this juror was just sitting there sort of like that, apparently completely asleep. And so the barrister said, sorry, Your Honour, can I just have a comfort break? Thinking that it would wake the juror up and everything would be okay. So jury go out of the court, everyone goes out of the court. Come back in, there's a note from that juror who says that if Mr. X, the barrister, thinks I'm not listening, then he's wrong. And that happened.
You mentioning the term comfort break.
Yes.
A now recently retired judge from Lewes, who sat in Lewes Court regularly, Judge Anthony, and he won't mind me mentioning this.
Right.
He hated the use of that phrase. He actually would say to you, and he said to me, I learned not to say it. He said, Mr. Meredith, don't talk in riddles. If you want the toilet, just ask to go to the toilet.
Or there's always the water jug, isn't there?
Yes.
You need to have. Anyway,
incidentally, Richard and Philip, me fetching the coffee was not because I was falling asleep on board, but I do have Parkinson's and it dries out my mouth, so I need to refresh it.
No. Of course, I was only, as I say.
Keith, this is your show in every sense, but you are not immune from Barton's so-called sense of humour, I'm afraid. Now, Richard, you mentioned the other court venues that fall under the Lewes umbrella.
Yes.
That means that there are 10 courts.
12, I think.
Which means that Lewes is considered administratively a very, very serious animal. Hence, we have a resident judge who becomes a deputy lieutenant, the current one being Judge Lang of King's Counsel. And that's how it's run. That no judge has a courtroom that is his or her own. And judges, again, who have retired, will often complain off the record to me about that. They were sick of being moved around constantly. I mean, like at the Old Bailey or lesser courts, they all have their own courtrooms. You know who's going to be in there, but not in Lewes. And that.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, please, you carry on.
No, because some court centres, even with 10 courts, whatever it might be, they're all based in the same place. The difficulty with Sussex is that, and I know this because I practice in the courts in Sussex, I can either be in Lewes or I can be in Chichester, which is quite a difference in terms of.
Well, certainly for you. And when I was practicing, the reverse was true of me. Lewis became the particularly with my increasing disability and lack of mobility, Lewis became the furthest I felt able to go. But anyway, the old building has seen some very notable cases. I mean, even its run-of-the-mill stuff can be pretty serious. Both you and I have done, on both sides of the fence, some very serious matters that wouldn't necessarily get into a law book. But the acid bath murderer, John Haig, was convicted at Lewis.
Court one. Lewis. Yeah.
Dr. Bodkin Adams.
Oddly enough, Phil,
Also,
sorry. At some stage, I would quite like to talk about John Bodkin Adams because it's a fascinating case. The Harold Shipman.
Yeah, well, what you should do is you should do for the viewer, and I use the term singularly quite deliberately, but the viewer.
Thank you.
And no doubt his dog. You could do on Bodkin Adams what you did on the Piltdown fraud.
Yes, or you could talk about it as well. But, you know, he was the Harold Shipman, allegedly, of his time. But I've got a couple of odd little bits of extra information about him. That, but he,
well, it may interest you both that a great friend of my family, particularly of my mum, years ago, Roy Green, married to one of my mum's best friends. His GP was Harold Shipman. And until the day he passed away, he refused to believe point blank that Shipman was guilty. Refused completely. Wouldn't hear of it.
So that's post-conviction. He still didn't believe
That's
it.
post-conviction. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and of course there was Sean Jenkins.
Billy Joe Jenkins murder.
Correct, the stepfather.
Yeah.
That dreadful man, Roy Whiting.
Yes.
Eventually got his comeuppance at Lewis.
Murdered Sarah Payne.
A case that I think you were involved in was Coots.
Yes, I was involved in Coots.
The murder of a teacher.
Graham Coots killed his partner's best friend because he was a necrophiliac and he wanted to keep the body. And it may well be at some stage, Keith, that within reason, we can talk about that as well.
Well, the thing about Coots, beyond its grisly facts, is it still is it not, a paramount authority on how to draft an indictment?
It's exactly
the Crown Court charge sheet and the use of alternative charges in black and white rather than implicit.
Yes, and it raises interesting questions for debate. But you're absolutely right, because he was tried in Lewis, and I was the junior for the prosecution in that, and then it went all the way up to the House of Lords, and they ordered a retrial, and I was the junior in that, and that occurred at the Old Bailey. And in fact, Bodkin Adams was originally tried at the Old Bailey, where he got acquitted, but then got convicted here in Lewis. So,
if I'm not mistaken, Bodkin Adams was turned over, if you like, by the widow of a school teacher at St. Bede's. St. Bede's, of course, being the home of one of the great swindlers, Horatio Bottomley.
I think you're absolutely right about that. Yes.
Now, that is the most interesting piece of information this program has contained. And it has not involved either me or you, Richard.
No, I know. I'm
You
afraid.
see, Keith is clearly a natural.
Of course, but I'm not sure a natural what. We'll just leave it there for our one viewer and his dog to decide what.
I mean, he may have a dry mouth, but when he uses it, it's to very good effect.
Listen, if we're not careful, we're going to get the BAFTA award for comedy with this lot.
But I first became aware of the impact of coots, not because of the trial, but of a case I was involved in. You may recollect that there were these huge animal rights protests at the Shoreham docks.
Was that about animal rights for huge animals? Is that what you mean, or?
No, animal rights to do with sheep in the main, the transportation of sheep. And a number of protesters were tried in Court 3 at Lewes by the then resident judge, Richard Brown. It was prosecuted in part by our old colleague, Richard Cherrell, now retired. I had a very, very minor chap, real tail end Charlie, who in the end pleaded guilty. But Coots reared its head very early on in that case because the indictment had to be re-amended a number of times to suit Coots. And another notable case was the tragic death of a number of firefighters at a local fireworks factory run by brothers called the Winters Brothers and their company. And they were all convicted of culpable homicide or manslaughter of those poor firefighters. Now, I mentioned Court 3.
No, sorry. Two things. Firstly, you talked about animal rights protesters. Maybe at some stage I could talk about how I represented the Brightling Sea animal rights protesters when I was really quite junior. But it was the first time I was in the national press.
Now you are showing off, aren't you?
I am showing off. Phil, if I can't show off to you, who can I show off to?
Thankfully, your volume is rather muted, so hopefully nobody can really hear you.
Well, you're very loud, Phil, so that's good. And
of course.
Yeah.
It's coming through loud and clear here.
Yeah. So sorry, Phil. You're about to tell us more about Lewes Crown Court.
No. Just as we discussed pre-program, there are now 4 Crown Courts. So the upstairs area, which had undoubtedly once been used for the local politics, that became, I believe that was some sort of council chamber. That became what is now Court 3.
Yes.
At the far end of the lower corridor is what you and I know as Court 4, aka the broom cupboard.
It's a tiny court. It's a tiny,
smaller,
tiny...
worse laid out court for a Crown Court I have never come across anywhere else.
Because
and during lockdown, it was farcical, absolutely farcical. Anyway, that used to be the magistrate's court.
Phil, you've spoken enough, mate. Court 4, and you'll confirm this, I'm sure, just by nodding your head. Don't talk. If you're defending in a case, you have the right to sit closer to the jury. So the prosecution are on one side of the court and you get to sit nearer the jury. Is that correct? There's a slight nod there. I could see the sun glinting off his head there.
Always been a nodding dog, you know that.
Very much so. Very much so. Court 4 is so small that if you're defending in there, you feel as if you're sitting on one of the jurors' laps, talking to them. It's hopeless.
Well, the last case I did in that court, where a very, very honest and very innocent, thank God, young man had been accused by an ex-girlfriend of indecency. I kid you not, one of the jurors, a female, was continuously looking over the front of the jury box at my notes.
Phil, what I find difficult to accept about your story there is the thought that you ever make notes.
Well, I started writing spoof things to amuse her. I didn't bother with the evidence. I just wrote sort of funny remarks. I thought that propositioning her would go too far, but
it's never stopped you, Phil. Let's be fair.
I've never stopped trying. My success rate is far behind yours.
You have a 0 success rate in that regard. Anyway, coming back to Lewes Crown Court, there's a lovely cafe there, isn't there, within the building?
Yes, if one goes through the front entrance, which is a rather cramped affair because the security is rather tight. The senior man is a lovely guy called Tyler, who runs a very tight ship and with his cronies. So once you've survived that gauntlet, run that gauntlet, you can then turn right and go down beyond Court 2, and you have the toilets and the cafe.
And just in terms of this, because the one man, not his dog, I'm afraid, on this occasion, because dogs aren't allowed into the courts. If they wanted to go there, you can confirm, they're open to anybody at any time, aren't they?
Yes, well, not only that, and certainly pre-lockdown they did, because you were very involved in this. They do open days, whereby the public can really see everything, not just the dock and the court. They can go downstairs and see the cells. I mean, perhaps we're running out of time now, but perhaps another time we could talk about that and move on to the prison and things like that. But the cells are a fascination in themselves. The old death cell will send shivers down your spine, frankly.
Yes. I recall because it's on the Saturday in Lewes where we have our buildings open day. So lots of buildings become available to people. Not my house, I should say, even though I live very near the prison. My house isn't open to you.
Well, who would want to see your house?
Good point. Well made.
It's like Manoir Fantôme at Disneyland.
You're very kind. But I did one of these Saturday things. So it's an open day, and they decided that we'd have a little tiny mock trial, which I prosecuted, and a member of our chambers, Sarah Tate, defended, and I lost to her. Of course I did. I've never lost to her in real court. And
yeah, I knew you'd have to give that caveat. You are
no. She's the one who's got the grievance about it. I promise you. But
you are such an egotist, really.
We had a trial, a little mock trial where the defendant, who I obviously cross-examined, was in fact the son of the judge, a judge that you know very well because of your, I'm not going to name him, but your common interest in a football team.
Yeah.
And I was cross-examining, and the judge intervened because he's got his son in the witness box that I'm cross-examining, and he's clearly trying to protect his son. He's an adult, for heaven's sake. And he said, that's not a proper question. And we had this quite, not exactly heated, but we had a debate, put it that way.
Well, that particular judge, who I'm very fond of, does intervene in real life.
Oh, no, exactly. Yeah. So it's very much of his nature. And I ended up asking the question anyway. And I said, look, no, sorry, I'm just going to get on and ask this question. And we had a courtroom full of members of the public because they were there for the open day. And afterwards, people came up to me and said, that was brilliantly scripted, the way you did that. And I said, that wasn't scripted. That's real life.
Yeah. Yes.
That just
I remember doing a similar one at Chichester years ago with Irena Ray Crosby, our ex-colleague, defending, and that it just wasn't scripted.
No. Of course, you can't.
How am I doing the time, Mr. Keith?
You're just hitting 30 minutes now, so it's almost time to say toodle pip.
Okay, lovely. We've got
Well, toodle pip it is.
Yes, Keith, with your approval, and you can tell me off air if we don't have it, I'd like to carry on talking to Phil next week if possible.
Listen, we expect you to be at least a weekly feature. So the two of you had better keep your diaries at hand. Once a week and possibly twice when you're feeling in full flow.
I've heard women say that to me, but not for a while, I admit.
Well, we'll have to hear about those experiences too, I think, Richard.
Not in my company, Mr. Keith.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Own slot, if you'll forgive the phrase for that.
Half hour. And we will see you next week. Look forward to it. Toodle pip, gentlemen.
Bye-bye.
welcome to our third episode of Bottled Poetry. Lovely name, isn't it? I love it.
It's great.
So this episode, like the previous two, is all about wine. However, this time we shall try a white wine. And I have the lovely Fergus with me again, who is the founder of Camino del Vino, and he knows absolutely everything there is to know about wine. So, if you like the look of the wine we are featuring, don't hesitate to give him a shout, an email, a call, whatever you like. Welcome, Fergus. Thank you very much again for being here. And this time...
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
This time, it's all about white. Certain type of white.
It is. It is about white wine. Yeah, we've done two reds now. We're going to move on to a fantastic white wine, I think, as well. But I'm quite biased because I'm a big Riesling fan anyway. But yeah, to give it away.
So, there we go. As you mentioned, it's all about Riesling today. Anton Finkenauer. There we go. I was trying to read it backwards and I just couldn't.
Yes. So from my understanding, these originally, when the vineyard was, it was basically the name Anton Finkenauer comes from the winery, which were owned by two brothers, called Anton and Karl Finkenauer, and they're a bit like the Adidas brothers. They fell out and they wanted to do different things, so they split off and did their own little things with their vineyards. But since they've obviously passed away and the two vineyards have now come together, and yeah, they clearly produce a beautiful looking wine and it tastes great as well.
The next thing I've noticed is a foreign word, trocken.
Trocken, yeah.
Trocken, which means...
Trocken means dry in German.
Dry,
yeah.
right.
So this is very like, a lot of German wines are they're quite unusual to the general consumer, or they used to be. So because Riesling can come in a variety of styles. So it can be trocken, for instance, but it can also go from like a medium sweet wine to a very sweet wine. So trocken is a very, like, we know straight away as soon as we see trocken that this is going to be dry. We're not going to be fooled and have a sweet wine, basically.
Well, yeah. I can tell you that I will remember this word from now on. So if I ever look for a Riesling and I want a dry one, I know what to look for.
Look at trocken. Yeah. But yeah, there are other, so for instance, it like trocken. So this particular white wine, so it's from, if you look on the back, you should see a little. Basically, this wine comes from a region called Nahe, Nahe.
Yeah.
And this is what's known in the wide world as a PDO, which is a protected designation of origin region. So Nahe is one of Germany's 13 PDOs, and it produces essentially really great wines from that sort of area.
Because I do have some little notes. Well, I say little, but yes, it's not that little. So what's the Predictswein? Predictswein? I'm so sorry. My German is terrible.
Predictswein?
Yeah.
Yes, Predictswein.
So what is that then?
So Predictswein goes by, we're really diving in. Predictswein, basically, because Riesling can come in a different type of styles. When I say styles as well, I mean it's very dependent on the level of sweetness. In Riesling, because it varies so much in styles, from your trockens to your very sweet wines, the German wine authorities basically have come up with another classification of determining the amount of sugar that's going to be in this wine.
It's wonderful. Yeah. Just ask the tough questions.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So before I very rudely want to open this, is there anything else you would like to tell me about it?
Oh, wow. So a lot of Germany's wine growing regions are based in the southwest of the country. They're very close to the French border as well, so it benefits from the Alps as well, the slopes from the Alps. And it's very cool climate along this area. So it's along the 50-degree latitude level of the globe, which is sort of the highest that the wine regions should really go in terms of what they're trying to produce, because anything higher from that, they won't benefit from the heat from the sun, which helps them grow. But yeah, it's just where they fall basically. And so it's very good. This cool climate as well is very good for Riesling to grow in as well, and then it helps with different styles as well, like we mentioned earlier. And because
So if it's not from Germany, it's no good.
It's very good in the Alsace region of France, which is actually they're very close in terms of geographic positions. They're basically the other side of the border with France. But those are your two main regions that are actually where you're going to get the best Rieslings, I'd say, in my opinion. Yeah.
I see. And you mentioned the Hungarian wine, Tokaj, which is Tokaj is the town, the place that the wine is originating from, and Tokaj is the name of the wine. Now that's a Riesling, right? And that's very, very, very sweet.
Well,
so when I hear Riesling, I think of sweet wine. Nothing else comes to mind, just sweet. And Tokaj is very, very nice, but it's just so very sweet. I could never drink a glass of that.
I went to Hungary a couple of years ago with a friend, and we went to a Hungarian wine tasting and explored all the Hungarian wines. And yeah, Tokaj wine, very, very tasty. Yeah.
No, I'm very eager to just get into this bottle.
Cool, all right, yeah.
Can I?
You can, yeah. So I'll give you a little, I'll give you a little precursor to what you should expect from this wine as well.
Shall we talk about the glass first? Would you say this is okay for a white wine?
Should. We've got very similar glasses, actually. Yeah.
Oh.
Nice. So yeah. So what is white? Well, a little bit different. I'd say a little bit better, but it doesn't really. At the end of the day, it's just a glass. If it's got steep facing angles or like a bulb shape, you should be fine. But yeah, white wines tend to come in quite a smaller size glass than your red wines.
Why?
Just because red wines, they tend to produce like a slightly wider collection of aromas and stuff like that, and so helping you really dig in when you put your nose in, collect all those lovely aromas in it. And
I see.
That sort of stuff.
Does that mean there's no aromas to collect from a white wine?
You would be very wrong. So this, for instance, is probably one of the most aromatic, is what a term is called in white wine, of the white wines that you can get. So you should get a hell of a load of notes in this. So it should be like floral notes, sort of citrusy notes, appley notes, and sort of stone fruit as well. So maybe a little bit of apricot in there as well, or peach as well, could be another one. You like the bottle as well? I really like the look of Riesling bottles.
It's simple and elegant. It's nice. Yeah.
So that's a very classic style bottle of a Riesling. They're always very slim and elegant and long as well. It's just as soon as you set your eyes on it, you're like, that's a Riesling.
Oh yeah.
So
there we go. Another new thing I learned today. Drinking wine makes you more clever.
In our last episode, we talked about screw caps and corks.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this one, Riesling, I probably would not, if I was a winemaker, put a cork in it, because the grape is so elegant and so quite delicate, and any little bit of texture would impart on the flavour of the wine. So you really want to try and preserve the sort of freshness and crispness that this wine has.
I thought you were talking about Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soon.
The crispness. Yes.
And so yeah, a screw cap is very good as well.
Very good.
Wouldn't look past it if it's got a screw cap on a Riesling.
Okay, so I can still buy it.
Yeah, don't stick your nose up at it. Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Again.
So you mentioned just below the widest part, right?
Yeah, I'd say again, same with this, because we're just tasting. Put it just below, or just sit it on the widest part as well. So my background is really messing up with this one. But yeah, just below there would be fine. Again, the same reason where you'll be able to collect all the notes and flavours that, well, the aromas that should come from it as well. Yeah.
Right, now, wish me luck.
But yeah, same again with the, well, yeah, you should be able to, again, spin it around. If you struggle to spin it in your hand, you can spin it on the table as a flat surface.
Oh no, it's spinning all
You
right.
should, again, like if you even just, so this is quite a long way from my nose, but I can already smell the sort of appley, citrusy, peachy flavors that I'm getting from this one as well. It's just
Apple, possibly.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. No. That's good. That's good. That's what the wine should smell like and taste like, which is nice. Can you smell any? If you put a little bit closer, it then becomes quite like very in your face. It's quite lovely. Again, like I think I said this in the last episode. Taste and smells it's a very personal experience.
Yeah.
Where you may be able to pick up something else that I may not. For instance, it's just purely a personal, whatever you can taste at the end of the day.
I see. Now, so then does that mean that whoever described originally the notes for this wine, that's just a personal view and he or she may be wrong?
They probably would have got a collection of people to try and taste the wine and see what they're doing. I wouldn't. Again, if you don't pick up the notes, I wouldn't let that get you down or at least fret over it, because the whole point is about enjoying wine at the end of the day. And what you do taste, you like, and if you don't like it, then don't try it again, I guess.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Let's go. This is beautiful. This is very nice.
Thanks. Yeah, this is why I'm a big fan of Riesling. I really love it.
I mean, you can just talk by yourself. I'm busy. Can you just carry on with your story, please? This is to be enjoyed.
It's really delicate. It's really elegant.
It really is.
Riesling's great for pairing with, especially if you're eating quite like Thai dishes as well. So like Thai green curry or something like that. But something that flavor you wouldn't want to like have a big red meat with the wine, basically, because it's just two contrasting flavors. Red meat in itself carries quite a lot of like quite big flavors, which would really sort of overtake the wine and its elegance of the sort of florals and quite nice, crisp, green and citrusy and peachy flavors as well. You wouldn't want to do that. Whereas like Thai food or quite like light vegetables, for instance, like salads, this would be a lovely like lunchtime, summery sort of wine. You'd want that sort of wine, that sort of pairing, because they don't. You basically, if you're trying to do food and wine pairings, you don't want too much of a battle. You just want them to sort of match one another nicely. You don't want to really be over ahead of one another. Basically, is what you're trying to go for. So like a salad would be nice. I'm gonna have a little bit more, I think.
A little bit more. Someone does like Riesling. I hope you're not driving anywhere after this. This is very, very nice. So to me, it's lemon and apple, the main ones.
Cool. That's good. I'd say that, yeah, you nailed it on the head.
And it's not too overpowering either. So it's just the right amount of taste and smell, I guess. Right, I need to stop this. Otherwise, this is just going to be a recording of me singing into the glass or whatever. So, thank you very, very much. Is there anything else that we may have forgotten? Since this is one of your favorite wines, have you shared all your knowledge about this beauty?
I believe so.
Okay.
That is, yeah, I think I'm all yes. I think I'm all good.
Very good. Maybe in the future we can taste a different Riesling.
Yeah,
Since
cool.
now you've got me hooked, I think, on this one.
Yeah, we can do.
Right.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Let's try them all.
Yeah, let's do. I mean, how long can a series be? We can go until next Christmas. I definitely recommend this. It is beautiful. Beautiful. You will absolutely love it. So, Fergus Wood, Camino del Vino, thank you very much. And we shall see you on the next episode, next time, next week, for another bottled poetry.